Hi everyone, today's topic is roadside inspection training, do's and don'ts. So roadside inspections are a fact of life for the professional driver. If a driver is selected, whether at random or for a particular reason, it is important that you know what to expect during your inspection. And more importantly, by knowing what to expect, you can take precautions to ensure that your vehicle will pass the inspection. Approximately 3 million roadside inspections take place each year. These assure a certain level of safety for the motoring public. The Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, also known as CVSA, has developed uniform inspection procedures to be used by the DOT. Roadside inspections should not be looked at as a bad thing. If you are taking care of your equipment and your paperwork, you have very little to worry about. Poor results from a single roadside inspection can affect you as a driver, your fellow drivers, and your company. The main objective of this program is to increase the awareness of the frequency at which roadside inspections might occur. This training instructs drivers how to prepare your vehicle and documents for the inspection and how to conduct yourself professionally. The secondary objective is to promote safety awareness among drivers. Drivers who keep their rigs clean and well maintained conduct conscious pre-trip and post-trip inspections and keep your logbooks current, have a better result when you get inspected. Finally, we will identify some of the negative consequences realized by a driver and the company from a failed inspection. This training applies to all drivers and personnel involved in the driver safety and compliance. So there are 6 levels of DOT roadside inspections. The first level is a North American standard inspection. This will include an examination of your license, medical card, seatbelt, vehicle inspection reports, brake system, coupling devices, exhaust system, frame, fuel system, turn signals, brake lights, tail lights, headlights, load securement, steering mechanism, suspension, tires, wheels, rims, windshield wipers, etc. So this is a very all-encompassing inspection. The second level of an inspection is a walk-around driver/vehicle inspection. So this is the same as a level 1 inspection, but the only difference being that generally the walk-around and driver vehicle inspection will include only those items which can be inspected without physically getting under the vehicle. Level 3 is the driver-only inspection. So they're going to be checking your license, your medical card, your record of duty status, hours of service if required, your seatbelt, vehicle inspection reports, things like that. Level 4 is a special inspection. So typically it'll include a one-time examination of a particular item. Normally it's made in support of a study to verify or refute a suspected trend going on. A level 5 is a vehicle only inspection. So it includes each of the vehicle inspection items under level 1 minus that driver paperwork. And level 6 is a radioactive materials hauler inspection. So that's just going to be for your hazmat trucks. So let's talk about some tips for having a good inspection. So you want to make sure that you conduct a thorough pre-trip inspection every day to try to catch anything that they might find at a roadside. Make sure all documentation is correct, up to date, and located in a central location. That should be part of your pre-trip. And be aware of paperwork issues for hazmat haulers anyway. When you're hauling hazmat, and proper location of documents in the truck at all times. Make sure you keep your logbook current or your time cards. Have a good attitude, be courteous and professional, and drive safely to avoid the likelihood of a roadside inspection due to a traffic stop. So now we are going to talk about the CVSA decals, and we're going to talk about kind of their benefits. So If anyone has been issued a CVSA decal, you can get them from either a level 1 or a level 5 inspection. After a roadside, if the inspector is a certified CVSA inspector and you get no violations in your inspection, they can issue you this decal. It's not valid for more than 3 consecutive months, but essentially, if you are given a CVSA decal, the benefit is that you're less likely to be pulled in for another roadside. However, there are no rules that stop a decaled vehicle from getting pulled in for an inspection within those 3 months. All right, so let's talk about out of service issues. An out of service result from a roadside means that the inspection agent declares either the driver or your truck or the carrier itself is out of service and in violation of federal motor carrier laws. If an out of service is issued, then you are not allowed to further operate your truck until that violation is corrected. So as a driver, you have some responsibilities to the company. As soon as an out of service is issued, you need to call the company so that we can determine what needs to happen from there. For example, if you're issued an out of service because your brakes are out of adjustment and you're not certified to adjust those brakes, you need to call the company so that we can get a certified adjuster out to fix the issue so that you can get back on the road. And as far as your responsibility to the public, essentially you have a responsibility to the public to make sure that you're operating safely. So make sure that your truck is in good condition and that you are in good condition so that hopefully you avoid any out of services. As a driver, you might be issued an out of service if you fail to meet any of the documentation required. You're issued an out of service in the vehicle inspection. Again, we have to fix that issue before they'll let you operate that truck again. So sometimes if you as a company don't have anybody who is certified to fix whatever that issue is, you'll actually have to get a tow truck and have a tow truck come and take your truck to a mechanic. So that's why that communication between you and your company is really important. If you get an out of service, we need to really make sure that we take care of the paperwork that comes from your roadside inspection. And that's actually even without an out of service, it's any roadside inspection. You're going to get a form that essentially either says, yes, you've passed, or you've been placed out of service and you need to fix these things in 15 days, or you've not been placed out of service, but you have these violations and you need to fix them within 15 days, sign this form and send it in. So you can't lose that form and it needs to go back to somebody at the place of business so that we can get it signed off on and sent back once those violations or violations that caused the out of service are fixed. The next topic we're going to talk about for roadsides is search and seizure. So this is kind of an interesting topic because it gets a lot of people pretty irritated. It's often confused whether or not an inspection officer is allowed to search your vehicle and seize items. However, because the commercial motor carrier is highly regulated by the federal government with regard to safety on both the federal and state levels, really, warrantless vehicle inspections, searches, and seizures are held to be reasonable within the Fourth Amendment. So that means that essentially they have access to the cab of your vehicle. So make sure that you don't have anything in there that shouldn't be in there. You don't want to open a can of worms. You know, if you feel uncomfortable or violated in a situation where they look inside the cab of the truck, just bring it up to the company and we can kind of look at it further. Let's talk about some consequences really quick of a failed inspection, because there definitely, you know, are some negative consequences of that, and we want to try to avoid any failed inspections for sure. So, you know, as far as a driver goes, lost productivity, lost revenue, your schedule's interrupted, you might miss an appointment, it. There could be some monetary fines or suspensions. For other drivers, you make your whole company more visible, essentially. So you're kind of on the radar more or less now after a failed inspection. You definitely won't get the pre-pass where you don't have to stop and where you get waved through. You'll have to stop. Definitely more delays, which equal more loss of revenue. And for the company, it could raise a red flag for DOT audits. It can reduce your rating for the pre-pass again. Those fines can definitely add up, loss of productivity. So in conclusion, the best way to successfully pass a roadside inspection is to be prepared and to be cooperative. The material covered here should have hopefully been helpful for you to understand what it takes to accomplish this. Inspections are just one of the everyday parts of being a driver, and inspections should never be looked at as a negative, but as a benefit to the driver, the company, and the